reason that we're all out here today is because this rock art is here. The site itself is fabulous, this whole area is wonderful, and we're out here to help provide a thorough documentation, a complete record of the rock art as it exists today, so that later on we can watch for any changes, vandalism, or natural degradation and deterioration through time. All of this stuff will become a part of the official site record. So the contribution made by the volunteers is more important than I can say. If we had to pay professional archaeologists to come out and do the level of recording that we do, there isn't enough money in the world to do it. So the contributions that you guys make by providing your effort and labor to come out and do this is just, it's immeasurable. The sites that are very close to the cities, the people are going to those sites now in large numbers, and so we've decided to involve the people who love the past and love the history of the state of Nevada. We've decided to involve them in the protection of that history, and so that's what we're doing out here today. We're training people to participate in the protection of the history that we all love, all of the creativity and the inspiration that we all feel when we come out in here, something that we think rock art in particular that brings that alive in people, and so they want to be a part of the process. Most people love it and they want to be a part of the process of protecting it. Museums are a great place for you to learn about the history and the culture of native peoples of Nevada, but whenever you come out into the landscape and you see the real stuff in the real place, that really makes it come home to you, the significance and the importance of these places. Whenever we have a large number of people on a site like this, people sometimes ask us if we're contributing to the problem of site destruction by having large numbers of people come and participate in these documentation projects. But we've decided to prioritize sites, I suppose, and the ones that are being visited a lot anyway, that are in close proximity to large and rapidly growing urban areas, they're very threatened and we need to have them documented right away. And a lot of people are coming here anyway. They want very badly to get out away from town, and they go out into the desert, and many of the sites are getting impacted very, very heavily. And while they're there, we want them to be working to protect the sites, and they can become site monitors of the ones that they love the best, and they can go to those on a regular basis and keep an eye on them, or they can participate in this kind of a documentation project and go to see sites that they're already visiting anyway, but they can be a part of the process of protecting them. The job is so big that we really need the input and the support and the effort, really, the labor of the public. A lot of people in Nevada love the history of Nevada, and they want to do whatever they can do to help protect it. And we have a lot of work to do. People that are interested in participating, I hope they'll let us know and let us know who they are, and we'll put them to work. Anybody who wants to participate, we will find a way to help you do that.
My husband Ralph and I are volunteers for the Nevada Rock Art Foundation, and when we several years ago we saw a little ad in the paper that they were going to be recording out at Lago Mercino Canyon, and we had been out here before and had fallen in love with the place. So we thought, well, this is something we have to do. And then we met Dr. Alana Woody, and came out here, and she felt the same way about this place that we did. So we have been recording out here for the last 6 years. My husband and I are the volunteer crew chiefs because we've been out here every day, every season for 6 years on each project that we work on. This may well be the most intensely documented site that we know of. Dr. Quinlan sets the highest standards for the volunteers to follow, and we've been well trained and well taught by Dr. Woody and by Dr. Quinlan to get this site recorded to the highest standards. As you can see right here from our base camp, the petroglyphs are everywhere. You can just as you gaze on up the hill. You can see they're on all the different boulders here. Some have tumbled down, some are underneath. You feel peacefulness when you're here working, and you know that you're doing something important. And all of a sudden you look around, and the horses are coming down to water, and you see the colts, the brand new colts that have just been born this year. And so you just stop working and you look over at them, and it's just such a nice feeling to know that all of these creatures are up here and have been for generations and generations, and they've all enjoyed this area as much as we have. It's a peacefulness that you feel here when you're out here, and we knew that, that this place needed to be preserved, and we wanted to be part of that.
Rock art to the Great Basin tribes are the stories of our old people. We call our old relatives Muata Punanum, and they're talking about significant events that happened during the history of our people. The dates for tribal people being in the Great Basin date back anywhere from 9 to 10,000 years. The stories that are told through the rock art pretty much deals with either hunting, gathering. They act as a calendar for events that have happened with the people of the Great Basin. You have different views of what the images are telling. They could be a practical message or teaching. It could deal with hunting again, conditions in the weather. We found out, especially talking with people in the Dry Lake area, that the tribal people had a connection with the universe, with the sun, the moon, with the summer solstice, the fall solstice, winter solstice, and I think that it needs to be looked at in a wider view than some people tend to do. Out at Pyramid Lake, we have some sites, and a lot of times we have young people coming out and defacing the areas that we may have petroglyphs in. And one thing that we've noticed out here and the tribe has put a stop to is graffiti, where people, and I've seen them in other rock art areas, where people come out and they start spray painting and defacing the area by, putting their own, I guess you could say, rock art in, telling their story, but they're defacing something that is ancient, something that may have a lesson not only to tribal people but to all people. We encourage that when the general public comes onto a site where there are petroglyphs, to respect the whole area, not just the images on the rock. And that, I think, will preserve the story that's being told, and maybe one day we will understand what the old people were trying to pass on through a lesson. If we don't protect them, time's going to take them from us, and then we'll lose those lessons that are being told in the rock art.